Alright guys, as you can see I'm working on this light bearing holster. It's a Beretta 92 or a Beretta M9A1, doesn't matter. It'll fit both holsters. It'll fit both friggin' guns, not holsters. With that a TLR1 light. I'm going to have a sale for like 2 weeks, I'd say, on light bearing holsters. Usually they're 65 bucks free shipping, which is a very good price for the quality you're getting. But for the next 2 weeks they're going to be 55 free shipping, so take advantage of it. I don't have light bearing holsters for every single gun, so I will put a list of the ones that are going to be on sale, because I can only make ones I have molds for. So the list will be in the information box under the video. Okay, so take advantage of it. This is the leather texture. We also have the regular black and OD green, coyote brown, which is like flat dark earth, but a shade darker, which looks way better than flat dark earth. And you know, you just go, there's not going to even be a special area on the site. I'll tell you which ones I have and that are on sale, and then you just go to the site and page through and you'll find it. Okay, for instance, if I want a Beretta, you go into categories, you click Beretta, and you'll eventually see, when you go through the pages, the light bearing holster for the Beretta. Same with like a Glock 19. You hit Glocks, go through the pages a little bit, you'll see a Glock 19 with a TLR1, Glock 19 with a TLR7, and yeah, that's what I got as far as for the Glocks. But you'll see what's available. I figure I'd hang out with you guys a little bit today. You want to see a little bit of the process as this holster's going to get done. So there it is. I got it all marked out. I'm going to choke again. I can feel it. It's very dusty in here. Got it all marked out with my silver Sharpie, and that's the rough cut. Alright, just got done cutting it out, and I use a silver Sharpie because my eyes are terrible. The problem with Sharpies is it's hard to get it back off. But if you have any kind of, this is Lucas gun cleaner. You don't need this. Any kind of contact spray, well, actually no. Any kind of brake spray cleaner, like brake cleaner, you get them at friggin' Harbor Freight for practically nothing. It takes the Sharpie right off. Right off. If you try anything else like Ballistol, you're going to rub your ass off, and you're not going to get it off. So I'll squirt a little dot on there. Just a little dot. And I don't know if I can do this while I'm holding the camera, but you can see, watch, takes it right off. See? Doesn't hurt the material, takes it right off. A little tip. There it is, all roughly cut out, very roughly cut out. And doesn't have to be perfectly cut out before you buff and sand, but you want to cut it as smooth as you can to cut that work down. So I try to make it as nice as I can. It's a lot less time on the sander and the buffer and the grinder, so you want to do that. I'm just saying, you know, making this in case you guys start making holsters or someone's interested in it. I'm just giving you little snippets of how I do it. So I got it all laid out. It's all sanded and smooth, and I use a little Scotch-Brite. Then I wipe it with a little bit of an oily rag. When you wipe it with the oily rag around the edges, you'll see where your mistakes are, because it just makes it stand out. Got it all laid out, and this is the old way of doing it, guys. These guys now, man, they got the machines. They just go in and it's like a router. It cuts it all out. Like I told you before, I can't, you know how expensive them things are. Then you got to learn how to use them. I mean, someday, I hope I get busy enough where I need to crank them out like that. But right now, they're still all done by hand. And any of my customers, asked them how long they have to wait for doing them by hand. They get out real quick. So, because I stay on top of the orders. So if you order a holster, you're not going to wait long. I promise, okay? maybe. I mean, if you're waiting a week, that means I'm really busy, believe it or not. So that would be the longest. So there's that stage. You just do, I did the front and the back, and I'm going to go drill the holes now. Holes are all drilled, got my angles cut, everything's clamped together so nothing moves as you're sanding and drilling. So what I will do now is sand, and then sand, finer sand, and then even finer sand. So coarse, soft, softer. Okay, and that really finishes it off nice. When you're sanding it and shaping it, that's the part where you need to get, gotta get good at it and get the hang of it. Okay, that's one of the main parts. Also fit. That's the other one. So once you got that down, you're on your way. So that's all done. The reason why I sand before I put the eyelets in is because the plastic builds up. Because I like to sandwich it together, it saves time than doing one at a time. The plastic builds up. Oh, where's one? Here's one. See that little piece of plastic? Here's a big one there. See it? You gotta scratch that off. So if you put the eyelets in before you sand, they get in between the holster and it's a pain in the ass to get them out. So I sand and finish, then put it together. Also, as you can see what I do with my molds, just because you buy a mold doesn't mean it's going to fit right. You have to fine tune them. I fine tune them. I had to build this up a little bit. I made the sight channel taller in case someone has, high sights. I had to build up the TLR1 light on this side. Also, I had to put a round surface on here above where the screw goes on the TLR1 light. They don't do that. The more advanced mold people do, but this is an old mold, but it works so good, little tape here, leave some extra room for the threaded barrel or the extended barrel. Had to extend this a little bit, but now, after I fine-tuned it, I don't have to fuck around with it. I don't have to heat it to make it fit right. It's boom, it's done, it fits perfect every time. And I gotta do that with all my molds. I gotta, tweak them, even though they're supposed to be made to make a holster. So just to bring that up. There's the holster. I hate these cameras because when you flip the thing around, it's reverse. Like right is left, left is right. It screws with me. I think I'd be used to it by now. But this is for Ben, and he's from Utah, and he requested 1.75 belt loops. I love these belt loops, man. They sweep around your body. They're super strong, and they got stamped Made in USA on them. I love that. Leather texture. Remember I said sometimes when you're done a holster, you got to heat it here and there to tweak it. This does not need to be tweaked because I already tweaked the mold, so it saves me a ton of time. To me, like, the retention is about perfect. But here is a tension screw. You can make it a lot tighter if you want to. It works really well. Alright. So that is the Beretta M9A1 with a rail, or 92 with a rail, or 92 FS with a rail. It doesn't matter, okay? If you have something weird, like you need high sights or something, sorry, I already corrected that on the mold. The battery decided to cut out. I think I mentioned this before. That friggin' camera will tell you the battery is like 3/4 full, and then it just shuts off. Kind of like Joe Biden's brain. It's like there, and then it just goes blank. So anyway, there's the finished product. Came out really nice. Eyelets, everything's nice and straight. I'm real happy with it. And another thing to try, I make a point to cover that trigger guard so you don't see any window or any space in that trigger. When I made the earlier ones, there was a little bit, I didn't think it was a big deal, because when you're first starting, you'll go on Google and look at other people's holsters, and they all have that. Like, you'll see the trigger exposed a little bit, the trigger guard exposed a little bit. and then once in a while you see one it's not. I'd rather it be not, so your shirt don't get caught in there. Any kind of clothes that get caught in there. Anything to jam it all up, that's not good, right? So that's it. Remember, all light bearing holsters, I'll give you the list of the ones, will be on sale for 2 weeks. Instead of $65, they're $55 free shipping. It's a great price. Unless you want leather, you add leather on, it's going to go up $15. It's a lot more expensive. So that's it, guys.